What happened on that field during the Dodgers and Red Sox game has now become the most talked about moment in baseball this entire season. Millions of fans who were watching the broadcast live could not believe what their eyes were seeing. In a moment that nobody in that stadium expected, the Red Sox second baseman was involved in a violent incident directed at Shohei Ohtani, and every single second of it was captured on live television for the entire world to see. The reaction was immediate. The home plate umpire wasted absolutely no time. Within seconds, the Red Sox second baseman was ejected from the game, and the entire stadium erupted into complete chaos. What exactly did the Red Sox second baseman do to Ohtani? Why did the umpire react so quickly and so decisively? And what does this shocking incident mean for the rest of the Dodgers and Red Sox series? These are the questions that have taken over every sports channel, every baseball podcast, and every corner of social media since the moment this frightening incident unfolded live on camera. When the starting lineups were announced before the game, the atmosphere at the stadium was already highly charged. The Dodgers and Red Sox have been playing with tremendous intensity throughout this series, and tensions between both teams had been quietly building over the previous days. Those who follow the series closely had already noticed that interactions between players on both sides were becoming sharper and more heated with every passing inning. But nobody, not the coaches, not the reporters, not the fans packed into the stands, could have predicted that things would escalate to the level that shocked the entire baseball world on this night. Shohei Ohtani stepped into the batter's box the way he always does, calm, focused, and completely locked in. He had already established himself as the most dangerous presence in the Dodgers lineup, and the Red Sox pitching staff had been extremely careful in how they approached him throughout the series. Every pitch to Ohtani was treated like a high-stakes decision by the Red Sox battery, because everyone in baseball understands what happens when Ohtani gets a pitch he likes. The crowd rose to its feet with every one of his at-bats, fully aware that something special could happen at any moment. It was in one of those electric at-bat moments that the situation suddenly and violently changed. As Ohtani moved toward first base following a play, the Red Sox second baseman made a move that immediately drew gasps from everyone in the stadium. What the cameras captured in that moment left broadcasters momentarily speechless. The contact was sudden, it was aggressive, and it was completely unnecessary given the situation on the field. There was nothing accidental about what the Red Sox second baseman did. The intent was clear, and the cameras made sure that every viewer watching from home saw it in perfect detail. Within a fraction of a second, the entire atmosphere inside the stadium shifted from excitement to shock and anger. The home plate umpire, who had a clear line of sight to the play, did not hesitate for even a single moment. He immediately pointed his finger at the Red Sox second baseman and issued one of the most emphatic ejections seen on a baseball field this season. The decision was made instantly, loudly, and without any doubt in the umpire's mind. The Red Sox second baseman argued briefly, throwing his arms up and turning toward the umpire with visible frustration, but there was absolutely no room for discussion. The ejection stood, and the player was forced off the field while the stadium roared with a combination of outrage and disbelief. Ohtani himself responded in the way that only he can. Rather than escalating the situation or engaging in a prolonged argument, the Japanese superstar stayed composed. He stood his ground, looked the umpire's way as the decision was made, and then simply refocused on the game. It was the kind of quiet dignity that has come to define Ohtani not just as a baseball player but as a person. While everyone around him was reacting with emotion, he was already moving forward. Manager Dave Roberts, however, made no attempt to hide his feelings when he addressed the media after the game. He walked to the podium with the same serious expression that Dodgers reporters have come to recognize as a sign that something significant needs to be said. Roberts stated directly that what the Red Sox second baseman did to Ohtani was completely unacceptable and had absolutely no place on a baseball field. He said that he had spoken with the umpiring crew immediately after the incident and that he was fully supportive of the ejection that was issued without delay. There is no version of baseball where that kind of action toward any player is acceptable, Roberts said firmly. But when it happens to Shohei, who carries himself with more class and professionalism than anyone I have ever managed, it makes it even more difficult to watch. The umpire made the right call immediately, and I respect that completely. Roberts confirmed that he had also been in contact with MLB officials following the game, and that the league was reviewing the incident through their official channels. He said that he expected a formal response from the league in the coming days and that the Dodgers organization would cooperate fully with any investigation or disciplinary process that MLB chose to pursue. Freddie Freeman, speaking to reporters in the clubhouse after the final out, admitted that the incident shook the entire Dodgers dugout in a way that very few moments during a regular season game are capable of doing. Freeman said that when something like that happens to a teammate, especially to someone like Ohtani, who never puts himself in a position to invite that kind of action, it creates an emotional response that is very difficult to control. He said the entire bench reacted with anger, but that the players held themselves together because they knew the worst thing they could do was allow the situation to spiral further out of control. When you see something like that happen to Shohei, your first instinct is to react, Freeman said. But we've got a professional group in that dugout. We kept our composure, and honestly, I think seeing Shohei himself stay calm helped everyone else do the same. Mookie Betts revealed that in the immediate aftermath of the incident, several Dodgers players had to be physically held back from stepping onto the field. He said that the emotion in the dugout in those few seconds was at a level he had rarely experienced during his career. Betts said that it was Ohtani's own calm reaction that prevented the situation from becoming significantly worse. He described watching Ohtani absorb what happened and simply refocus as one of the most impressive things he had witnessed from a teammate all season. He didn't give anyone a reason to make it bigger than it already was, Betts said. And that's Shohei. That's just who he is. But I want to be honest, if it wasn't for him staying calm, that situation could have gone in a very different direction very quickly. Sources inside the stadium confirmed that security personnel were immediately positioned around the field following the ejection, and that team officials from both sides were in conversations on the field for several minutes as the situation was brought under control. Eyewitnesses in the stands described the atmosphere as genuinely tense, with many fans in the Red Sox sections falling completely silent while Dodgers supporters were loudly voicing their anger from the other sections of the stadium. Shortly after the game, MLB released a brief official statement confirming that the incident had been referred to the commissioner's office for a full review. The statement said that the league takes all incidents involving physical contact between players with the utmost seriousness, and that a decision regarding any additional discipline beyond the ejection already issued by the umpire would be announced following a thorough review of all available video evidence. League sources indicated that a suspension was being strongly considered given the nature and clarity of what the cameras captured. For Shohei Ohtani, this was yet another moment in a season that has already seen him navigate more adversity than most superstars face in an entire career. Through knee soreness, through controversial calls, and now through this violent incident that played out in front of millions of viewers, he has responded every single time with the same quiet strength that has made him the most admired figure in the sport. The baseball world now waits to hear what punishment MLB will hand down to the Red Sox second baseman. Because what happened on that field against Shohei Ohtani was caught on camera for all the world to see. And in this era of instant replays and viral video, there is simply no hiding from what those cameras recorded. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Subscribe to our channel for more interesting and up-to-date coverage of everything happening in Major League Baseball.